Footy's back. Ba-dun, ba-ba, ba-dun, ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba. Welcome to Footy Unfilterated. Round 2 is almost here. I'm your host, James Clements. With me over there on that screen is our man in Amsterdam. Actually, that's our mate Gaz, who Dan just heard at the start of this. It is St Patrick's Day today, so I'm opening a tin just in honour of that. There we go. There you go. Bang.
To be sure.
He was actually in Amsterdam this week, so not playing a show with his Celtic punk band. The only guaranteed show they have all year. And he's just like, I'm out of the country. Good job, idiot.
Nice one, guys.
Anyway,
nice one.
It is everyone's favourite Essendon fan. I mean, that's, again, it's not saying too much right now. It's a low bar. It's Jez. Jez, what's cracking?
Am I only the favourite fan because I'm still wearing this hat after that dismal performance, or is it just, I don't know. But I'm cracking along all right, aside from Friday night. I've moved on. I'm in a good place right now.
It's very much a royal we that I say that you're everyone's favourite Essendon fan, because old mate and her entire extended family are Essendon fans. And I don't know, I'm not going to say that I like you more than my wife, but here we are. Keep digging, Jim. It only goes down.
Yeah.
Anyway, footy is super duper back. Everyone's now played, which is very fun, and now we've already got buys. What a world that we live in.
So good.
Today's show, round 1 wrap, weekly awards, some yeah-nahs, which is always fun. That's the old NBA Straya, NFL Straya motif, always a good one. And the round 2 preview and picks, because I figured the amount of yeah-nahs we're going to be able to hit on here, Jez, we'll get enough of the sort of, vibes. Vibes of opening 2 weeks. The little line of demarcation, now we've hit buys. It's ridiculous that we're now sitting here going, I'm like typing out these previews. I'm like, why is there only 6 games? Oh, that's right. Here we are. Well, 7 games, whatever it is, but it's just stupid. So, all right. Well, the good thing is this is Footy Unfilterated, so I guess we should probably get into it.
Let's do it.
The book. Footy Unfilterated. Let's go. Oh, it's almost like I timed that. Righto, yes. So the news from the weekend, footy is fully back. All the teams have now played, and for the first time in 427 games, a bloke who used to play basketball, apparently, I'd never heard anyone mention that before, but they're using that in his defense. Oh, he was always a really clean basketball player. He played basketball.
But Jim, he never got suspended playing basketball. Something that I cannot say about myself.
427 games, and Pendles has been reported for a big hit on Josh Worrell. They go to the tribunal tonight.
Bam, 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 bam. Breaking news. I just got the notification through as we were going to air. He's been let off. The good bloke defence worked. So, do you reckon he just walked in there and they've looked and gone, oh, Scott, what are you doing here? He's gone, this bloke thought I did something bad. No, not you. You used to play basketball, Scott. Just we'll sort it out. You just off you go. You'll be right this week.
I it is absolutely 100% what's happened. They're like, Scott, what are you doing here?
You lost, mate. You lost.
I've never seen you here before. What are you doing? Are you lost? Seriously, what's going on? And
he's just waiting for a mate.
I'm just waiting for him. I'm absolutely stoked that he's just sitting there going, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know where to go. Like, can I help?
Yeah.
You guys need some coffees? Like, I'm a good bloke. Have you heard this?
Came in with baked goods for them, ready to go. Here you go. Would you like a pie? How about an apple scroll?
Brought everyone dinner. There you go. Like, you could have even just been making that up, and I'd be like, 100%.
Tracks.
Because there's no way that he was going to get, and I think we've talked about this before on the old AFL shows that I've done, etc. Like, debating tribunal calls is just mostly dumb because you just kind of never know what's going to happen. But this one was like, you can debate the simple idea of it was a rough hit. It's like, but then you watch it, you're like, you just hit him. Like, it's a football act. Like, there's no malicious intent. It was just like
so many times when you see things, and the problem is they use slow-mo. So, slow it down. If I slowed down you just taking a sip of your can, then I could pick 100 faults with it. But,
Jim's nose hair.
there'll be dribbles down that nice big fluffy red beard of Stomping Grounds. What is it, the pail that you got there? So
I do. I've got the green Stomping Ground pale ale.
Lovely
we were
drop.
at the pub. I took the squids and old mate to the pub for St Paddy's Day earlier, which is the tradition now. Like we used to do it. It is St Paddy's Day today, so in your youth, you'd usually go out, make a big deal of it. Now it's a bit amateur hour now, right? You go out, it's like people partying hard. The amateur hour thing really hit me when we were living in New York, and you were out this week especially, right? So a lot of the time, depending on where St Paddy's Day falls, it can be the first day of March Madness. And that is absolutely a confluence of events that means there are a bunch of drunk 19, 20, 21 just causing all sorts of havoc on the street.
That'd be schoolies on steroids, surely.
Dude, it was absolutely nuts. And I am all for day drinking, obviously, big proponent of. But this was just like, oh God, I feel like I'm a bit old. But I mean, St Paddy's Day is always great. Like as I mentioned, like our mate Gaz in a Celtic punk band, and always good vibes there. But since we moved home from the States, we'd have a Nets game to go to on St Paddy's Day, and they'd be selling Guinness cans, with the dudes bring around the cans and stuff. You're like, this is great.
Yeah, cool.
We'd get back to near our apartment. There's one of the most famous Irish bars in all of New York, literally the next block around from our apartment. So we get in there, and the Irish bartender's there. Like, they were the surliest pricks you've ever met in your life. There's like, what do you want? It's like, I don't know, a beer. Where are you from? Australia. All right. Because as soon as you're not English, they're just like, all right. But they're American. They're just doing the Irish accent thing as well, right? They're just 70 years old. But there was it was called Dublin House. It was amazing. It literally had the oldest neon sign remaining in New York out the front of it, this old harp. Beautiful. But still, so we do all these New York St. Paddy's Days, whatever. Then I move home and have a squid. And literally, the thing is, we just go over to the pub across the road from our house
and
now.
Have a beer.
And I have the progression of photos of the eldest squid as a baby, and then a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and I'm always kind of just going, I've got a beer. I'm at the pub across the road from our house. So that's now tradition. So it was lovely. But I was drinking the Stomping Ground Pale Ale, so I've just kept it up.
Very good drop.
Anyway, hey, that was a big diversion. Injuries. That's the sort of other big news this week, right? Like Errol Goulden.
Oh, Errol. That's brutal. Brutal.
Whoa, Errol. It didn't look good.
Nah.
When he was on the bench as well. And then the decision that they sort of made of all right, well, surgery is probably the best way to go about it. 4 months.
Because that's what he was out for last year, wasn't it?
With the ankle.
The ankle. I thought it was his shoulder last year. My bad.
And it's just, the dude can't take a trick. I absolutely love Errol. He's one of my... I hate the Swans, but I love Errol.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Swans. They're the greatest team we've ever seen. But love Errol, and that just stinks. We also had Todd Marshall, with his ankle, I think it was, wasn't it? There's no structural damage on that, which is good. We don't know if he's going to play this week, however. Philippou copped the corky.
$1 million man.
We don't, the
$1 million man. Come out this week that he signed mid-year last year. How does anyone at St Kilda keep anything under wraps, let alone that? That's amazing. Well done.
I'm now more worried about how St Kilda are affording all of these players. That's a lot of dudes on a lot of money. Very
cotton on action happening.
Maybe. I don't know. What are the big industries down there in Moorabbin? Meth. What else?
Meth.
That's about it. Not so much cotton on, but other fabric producers down there.
Nilex, I think, back in the day.
That's it. Yep. Isaac Heaney's also probably going to miss this week with a little bit of a hammy twinge, it seems. He left the game.
I did hear earlier that he has been cleared of any, as they say, substantial damage. So that means it's probably just a bit sore and he's going to miss a week. So that's good news.
They've only got the 5-day turnaround as well, right, this week.
Yeah.
So I think
playing Hawthorn on Thursday.
He's like, Dean Cox we're not going to risk it.
Yeah.
Which is smart. But otherwise, I mean, the other sort of news, I guess, it's not even really news, but there's been a lot of, consternation maybe about the fact that these games have been really high scoring and good to start the season. And people are like,
Funny that.
what's going on? But yeah, well, they changed the rules to make this entire thing quicker and easier, and off we go. It's and then you got the footy fans out there go, I don't know if I like this. It's just a bit too different. I'm like, what? You'd rather a 68-62 just grind him into the dust, boring up like that. Carlton Richmond game this week was awesome to start with, and then it was an absolute. It sucked.
It was, but from a neutral point of view, it was entertaining in how ridiculous it was as a concept. There was nothing to say that should have happened that way. It's just like, oh my God, neither team has any idea what they're doing, and whoever wins is going to win.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Jeez, anyway, but I think that's kind of the weird thing. I think the scoring average is up over 20 points on the same time last year and maybe the year before as well.
Yep.
I'm fine with this because
absolutely.
A little bit of the actual sort of score involvements, the moving of the ball, because what it does is it gives you a sort of crazy range of outcomes, right? Of like, right, we're going to go 3-4 goals up, but if the pace of the game is like quick enough, like the other team can catch up in like a heartbeat. We saw it with Geelong and Freo, right? Like for a game like that to turn around the way that it did, and for Geelong to end up winning by 10 after the start that Freo got, you're like, that's good. Like this is a good outcome. Like
absolutely,
all games like this is not a bad thing. 110 to 100 or whatever it was. Stop. Like AFL fans, like we can't whinge about good footy. Just shush.
But if you see a team come from 6 goals down with 10 minutes to go, how often are you going to turn around and say, that was not awesome? You're going to be like, oh my God, did that just happen? Even in this day and age where it seems to happen more often than it did, say, 20 years ago, when if you were up by 5, 6, 7 goals at three-quarter time, you were pretty much, okay, we'll just park the bus, here we go. We'll just get through and we'll be fine. Now, if you've got to be at least 10 goals up to be comfortable. And that's great. Like, it just creates chaos.
And if you're Carlton, there's better be 10. Like, what are we doing?
Or 25 if you're Essendon. But...
Hey, let's wrap up some round one games really quick. Oh, God. So I was there for Carlton Richmond on Thursday night last week, and it sucked. 75-71, Carlton win. The prevailing sense out of this game was quite simply, number one, have you ever seen a win that was basically a loss? Like, well, yes, now I have. That was they lost that game like 4 different times, but they still somehow won. No goals. Like, what was it? Like after halftime, it was just absolutely abysmal. Nothing in the third quarter. Zach Williams kicks the game winner. Basically, Tom Lynch was Carlton's best player. It was chaos. Yeah. So I appreciate that. But, I mean, they started off like absolutely like a house on fire. It was awesome.
Looked good at halftime. Looked awesome, really good.
Feeling nice. The Squid's gone off to go play on the field at halftime. He's having time. So they take them away like around the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. So I'm like, all right, sick. I'm going to go drink some tins over the bar. Because you're sitting in the dry bay. It's all good.
Yeah.
And so you wander over the bar and like, just milling around. And you can just feel what are we doing?
That's
and like the sheer frustration of the Carlton fans is just, it becomes palpable as we sort of head into halftime. And it's like, we snag one late and you're like, oh, this is still not great. But anyway, look, the 3 things I took away from this game was that it sucked. Carlton can play these awesome halves is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that they can't do another half,
it's a worry. It's a worry.
Again, it sucks. And number 3 is that Sam Lawler is an absolute weapon. Holy crap. He is so good that like every time he touched the ball, you're like, Dusty.
I actually, so hang on. I thought he retired. Oh, no, hang on. There's no ink. That's that. Oh, it's Sam. He is like, if he had touch, he'd be like, huh? What? He is.
It's just.
I think he had like 2 goals and 16. But he just what he does when he gets a footy. He is. If you could have a clone, that is him. He's terrifying. Yeah, it's scary.
Ryan Mansell as well got hurt, I think, late in that game too. He was actually really, really good. But I think, like, you look at Richmond and go, oh, it takes like 5 to 7 years to rebuild. And like, you look at that Tigers team, you're like, oh, it's going to be that long, dude.
Nah.
Like, give them another year or two, and that's going to be a terrifying
They're going to
team.
have
Like,
this wave of kids who mature at the same time, and they're just going to be another dynasty of unstoppable terror.
So good. I loved it.
Yep.
They're awesome. I hate Richmond. I'm so happy we won the game. But it was like the most despondent post-game. Da, 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 da. Let's go home. God damn it. And you just, it was horrible. Speaking of horrible, Essendon 83, Hawthorn 145. This was, I was on my couch for this one, Jez. Old mate, I'm a supporter.
Yeah.
She's sitting there going, do you want to turn this off? I'm like,
yeah, I think about halfway through the third, I wanted to turn it off and go to bed. The only problem was I was at the game. It wasn't good. And look, it's very similar to Carlton the week before against Sydney. We actually looked okay for a quarter and a half. We were competitive. Darcy Parish came back and was looking good. Jai Caldwell looked good. We looked like we had some sort of, buzz about us. And then Hawthorn slammed on, I think it was 3 or 4 just before half time. And it was like that just kicked us fair square in the nuts. And we went, oh, that really hurt. I don't want to play anymore. And we didn't. We walked around. Zach Merritt, if he wants to go at the end of the year, by all means, he deserves to be able to. He's the only one out there who shows any type of leadership whatsoever. You got all these clowns like Redmond and McGrath and all the ones that were carrying on about Merritt talking to other clubs. They did not fire a shot. They were garbage. You've got these young kids who have just come in and they've got no one patting them on the back when they stuff up. They've got no one getting around them when they don't quite get to, I think there was one of the young kids, I forget his name, but Conga Giannis. He went for a spoil and just completely missed it. And I think Hawthorn ended up with a goal out of it. Not one bloke got around him. And it's just like, what the hell are we doing? Like, that's just disgraceful. So it makes it very, very hard to look forward with positivity as an Essendon supporter at the moment.
and it was I feel like the scoreboard was like, they basically put the cue in the rack as well, right, in the fourth quarter. They're just like,
Yep.
We're all good. And like, your guys kicked a few goals there. Dyson Sharp looked fine.
Yeah, Dyson Shea kicked a couple of goals, so that was a positive. Lockie Blackiston in the ruck was really, really good. I think he got, the stats would say he got beaten, but I thought he more than broke even. And he's an undersized ruck as well. He's not 205 centimetre, and doesn't quite, like Ned Reeves is a big boy, like he's big country strong kind of boy. Lockie Blackiston took it up to him and gave him enough. And yeah, look, the young kids, they were thrown to the wolves and they did all they could. So I've got no issue with them and how they played it. So supposed leaders of the club and senior players that didn't fire a shot. And again, like you said, the Hawks, I would say they were good but not great. When they moved the ball, they looked really good. But they didn't have to do it. We've got this little circle work game, and what we do is we kick the ball and we kick it 15 metres from full back to a player, and then he runs around in circles, and then he handballs it to a guy who also runs around in circles, and then we do that 3 or 4 more times, and we get to the half-back flank, and then we just give it to Hawthorn and let them kick a goal. So if that's our game plan, we are 100% on. So things are looking up.
Brad Scott, brain genius.
Ooh.
Dunstan had 5. The Wizard had 4.
Yep.
Ginnivan popped up for the 1 or 2. I can't remember, but actually, no. Did he kick anything? I don't know if he did.
I think he kicked 1.
Yeah, but he did. There you go. The prevailing vibe I got was like, yeah, Hawthorn, the perfect game for them to sort of bounce back, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, let's get our own game sort of back on track, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
Dogs, 134. GWS 53. Wow, was this a beatdown?
From the start, it was out of control.
I'm watching. I've got this on while the squids are sitting there in the house, and I'm like, might turn this off. This is needs an MA rating. Jesus. Just like, stop, he's already dead. Like, what are we doing? Bont was incredible. What do you have, like 3 first half goals and like ends up with like 1 million touches?
Yeah.
It's insane. But I think the best thing for me, so the 3 things I got, Bont, magnificent. They played the perfect game, I almost felt like, right? They're the Dogs, right? Like Norton kicked 6.
Yeah.
Darcy was everywhere. You've got Libber like causing all sorts of havoc. But their run and carry, I think, they look so good right now.
And
they're playing
kids,
so well.
Their kids look like their kids have taken a little bit of a step too. Like they're starting to fill those roles that, like we were saying in the preseason review that we did, how they tend to rely heavily on matching up well against a team. They've got these young kids like Selwood and the likes, O'Donnell, who are starting to actually be important, not just good young players who are finding their feet. They're actually starting to take up a role and help them, and they're dangerous, the Dogs. They are dangerous.
Tinglish had a really good game too, I thought, and it's like just being able to feed that proper setup that they've got at the centre, like between Ed Richards and between Bont and Libber, and just like once they get that sort of like momentum behind them, they're terrifying. And like when Norton's actually clunking stuff and actually kicking straight, it's awesome. And GWS just got flat out whacked. Their front, like their forward line,
horrible.
Yes, Stringer, Hogan, like they're all just like all over the shop. So a game to forget.
Complete opposite to last week.
Yeah, like Finn Callahan was awesome. Everybody else, I reckon, was just horrible in that game, right? Like that's my entire time. As I'm watching, I'm like, Finn Callahan's like, and like my beloved Joe Fonte, your beloved Joe.
My beloved, my man. The font.
He was good as well. Like
you've got the Bont, I've got the font.
Yeah, Fontempelli. There we go.
Fontempelli.
Anyway, Dogs might be the best looking team across the first 2 weeks. Geelong 110, Freo 100. The comeback.
Wow,
this is absurd. They're up, like, as you said, like 6 goals early. Like, Freo looked amazing. Sarong and Luke Jackson causing all sorts of havoc. And then Geelong just started turning the screws. And Freo just went,
what's
Freo.
that?
We're still Freo.
What's that warm sensation I can feel? What have I done?
Not a great vibe.
No.
What else out of this one did you vibe on?
Yeah, it was pretty much WTF Freo. Bailey Smith, good comeback game considering I had him as my Spud the week before. And Big Shag O'Neill, 5.
He was awesome.
He was real good. And even Jezza was back with, I mean, he could have easily kicked 6, but 3 goals, 4 and 20-odd touches. So, but yeah, Big Shannon Neal.
Danger did absolutely nothing, and was actually when I was coming up with my Spud of the weekend, like Danger being there, it was like he wasn't hurt. He just had the world's quietest Dangerfield game. It was weird. Kicked a goal.
Yeah, with his 4, 5 touches. He had his first touch late in the second quarter.
So weird. But I think the cool thing I've got is like Tanner Bruhn. Still love him. Yeah. He's crushing. Like at least for Supercoach, I love him.
But I think he's having an impact as such. But at least he's getting the footy, I suppose, to start with.
Sarong was fantastic. Holmes is awesome.
Yep.
This was like just a really awesome, fun game. So we were watching this, and then we had to jump on the train to go to the basketball. And so we're watching it on my phone. And this is like a thing the Squid and I now just do. So, Dad, put the footy on. I'm like, you can watch footy on your phone. What a world.
Why not?
And it was great. It was just like, it came down to it. And I'm like, this is going to be hilarious. I can't believe Freo were bottling it. And they did. And he just couldn't believe it either. And Cats, what a bounce back. Like, that was kind of the biggest thing I took away from is like they needed to win that because 0-2, it's a little bit of a hole. And as we'll talk about in a second, but the way they did it, the belief is still there. They're at home. You just sort of just need to keep, you can't build the fortress out of bricks made of crap.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just going to disintegrate. If you lose that first game, it's going to be a lot harder down the stretch to go, we're unbeatable here.
I think the fact that they won at home was a bit more of a phew. Whereas if they had a loss, it would have been like, what do we do now? What? Yeah. Lost their security blanket.
And Manna from Werribee, just unstoppable again too. Another 3 goals. I love him. Sydney 104, Brisbane 60. Lions look absolutely cooked. Didn't have Harris Andrews, no Gardner. The man who likes planes, Jack Payne.
Yeah, they're struggling a bit with the injury and suspension list.
So they just didn't sort of have like the tall timber, especially down back. In Sydney, like we had an Amati party.
Another one. Another 5 goals.
Very little from Curnow, but like that's kind of the thing. I think everybody just focuses on Curnow, and like Amati's like, well, I'm over here. I'll kick. Just kicking to me.
And then if he decides that he's not having a party, he's going to have a quiet night in, then Logan McDonald can pop up, or Papley, or
McInerney
or Heaney can go for. McInerney has had one of the best starts of the season for a player who you wouldn't really think is a grader or superstar. He dominated in the game against Carlton, and he dominated again in this game. He had, I don't think he quite had as many touches, but I think he was close to 30 in round one. Opening round, and this week he was 22, 23 and 2 goals. So I think he's kicked 4 goals and has best part of 60 possessions in the first 2 games. So and he barely gets spoken about.
Yeah, he's like one of these weird unsung heroes who, if you have them on your team, you're like, that is my dude.
Yep.
And if you play against him, you're like, who's this guy killing us?
I think we need to claim him now as Footy Unfilterated's own Justin McInerney.
Our beloved
Justin McInerney.
Our Brownlow.
He's our man. Our man.
But I think for the biggest thing coming out, like, it's Sydney at home. Like, Sydney at home is always going to be an absolute horror show. Like, they've just gotten this beautiful run where they just get kicked the crap out of the Blues. Round 0, Carlton just never win in Sydney. It's like literally a scientific fact. I don't think they've never won ever in the history.
Never.
I think I actually ran this. I think we've won there twice in the last 40 years or something stupid. Wow. So I'm just joking.
It sounds good. I'd believe it. If it was true, I wouldn't argue.
Don't come to us for exact bang on numbers or stats. I'm just saying. Yep. So after all of this, I think you come out of that game, Sydney awesome at home. We get it. Brisbane premiership hangover, missing a bunch of dudes. Just. And if it feels a little bit off, we'll talk about it again in a second. Collingwood 79, Adelaide 93. You beauty. First time they've beaten them at the MCG since 2014. That is awesome.
That's what we want to see.
I think my notes here is you hate to see the Pies look old and slow and out. You hate it.
Yeah. Really, really breaks my heart.
So having been at the Southeast Melbourne Magic Phoenix game versus the Adelaide 36ers at John Cain Arena. That started at 5:30. This game started around, 7:40, I think. So there were a bunch of folks who were doing the bang bang, just doing the Crows game. Crows game and the Sixers game. I'm like, this is awesome. I would 100% do the same thing.
Yep.
If Carlton had a basketball team, I don't know, whatever. But it was awesome. And I'm like, there's a lot of Crows paraphernalia in this.
There was a lot of Crows fans in the city on Saturday night.
It was wild. So that was cool. Good on them because they got at least one win out of the 2. And I think this is kind of the coolest, weirdest, strangest game of the weekend where you're like, the repercussions of my actions. Here we are, says Collingwood. Yep. Whereas the Crom, they looked fantastic. And I think my favorite thing about this game was simply how when the pressure got turned up on them, they responded in kind.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to really panic too much. There was like a little bit, and it sort of got a little bit squirrely, but they settled very nicely and they responded really, really well and sort of threw like Collingwood's game plan back in their own face, right? Like, which is pretty hard to do. But I think the Pies were very good off half back because they were sort of just being assailed. But the big problem was the gaping just hole in in their forward line of like, we got anyone who can take like a mark that's not Jamie Elliott? It's like, that could be a problem.
Yeah, it's they're a bit thin on the ground around there. Imagine if they had Brody Mychek.
It would have been handy.
Handy. This sort of even a giant telescopic 4-eyed freak, Mason Cox. Sorry to all you glasses wearing humans. I'm supposed to be wearing glasses too, but
wearing glasses right now. But I don't take it personally. It's all right. Yeah. He's much more American than I am. So
so we can all hate him.
The approach, though, what was it like between McStay and dudes like that? It just wasn't quite enough at all.
Membry and it's like they're just getting these top up forwards to try and see if they can get lucky and pull a 40-goal year key forward out of. Membry was washed when he was at St Kilda, and then he played okay last year, had a bit of a revival, as you tend to do when you have a bit of a. But he's heading closer to retirement age than he is, as are most of their key players. So DeGoey had not much of an impact, which he did some okay things, but nothing like the week before against the Saints. So yeah,
I think the biggest thing to come out of this is like, all right, if the Pies defense breaks down to any sort of degree, can they outscore like anyone who's not St Kilda? Like,
yeah,
they managed 79 against Adelaide, who aren't exactly known for their defensive prowess over the last couple of years, right? Like, I was looking at this and I'm like, oh man, I feel like the overs are a pretty good one here. But
yeah,
the Crom getting to 93 and sort of like just always being able to go, it's fine, we've got this, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, as I said, dealing with the pressure, sort of like absorbing it a little bit and going, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And then sort of just giving it back and going, all right, there's Thriller up there. We'll just find him. He's like climbing up a wing, causing all sorts of havoc. And then Tex Walker's doing the same thing. And you could sort of really, like, I think that was the most stark, obvious difference, right? Apart from like Dacos and, their sort of midfield battles that they were sort of having. But that really sort of up and about forward line. Like Fogarty didn't do anything until very, very late when he kicked that goal. And you're like, oh, they've still got Fogarty. This is awesome.
Yeah. They're very similar to the way they line up around the ground. Not so much a midfield is very similar to Sydney, where they've got that solid core, no sort of real superstar down back, but they've just got that solid core. And then they've got those multiple options up forward where if one or two of them are having a quiet day, one of them could easily, Fogarty, whatever his name is, John, he can pop up and kick 5. And if he's next week can't get near it, then Tex will kick 5. So it's, I think the Thriller ended up with 3. Moonwalked his way to 3 goals. He's a beast. How good is he?
So good. I'm going to talk about him again later. But
awesome.
Great win for Adelaide. North 113, Port Adelaide. We've got the power to
slide.
Oh, geez. 113.67.
The slide is real. The slide is real.
The early Sunday game at Marvel and Clarko ball, Rue ball. Here we go.
They looked all right.
They looked awesome. Like we were actually I was at pub cricket for this game. So on the way there, I'm watching a bit of them on my phone.
Yeah.
We sort of sitting down. I'm like, we just sort of had it on the background. You're like, I think they got this. Oh God, Dylan Stevens is running rampant all over the top of power. They've like
I had to go. Who? Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was good.
It was crazy. Like, but between like Suva booting 4 or whatever it was, love that. LDU being very, very good. Horn Francis doing absolutely nada. Rosie, the clamps are put on him. Like you just like
Butters had no impact.
Yeah.
It
was awesome. So great win for the Roos. Like, and the zoom out sort of thing is that this is the exact way they needed to start the season. You can't do the, we tried and we almost beat the power. Like just come out the gates, boom.
I think we said that. I know I said that in the picks last week that this is a game that North have got to start winning. And I watched replay and Dwayne Russell has got to be one of the biggest flogs. I'm watching it and North are up by 6 goals, I think, at the time. He's like, and they're still alive. It's like, no, they're not, Dwayne. They haven't even looked like being alive since they got out of bed earlier that morning. I know that it's their job to try and keep the game interesting, but come on. Like, seriously. I'll tell you one thing off that game that was quite good was the new commentator, Jess Webster.
Yep.
I thought she was really good, really clear and concise, didn't try to overhype the game where her mate Dwayne was clearly doing more of that for both of them. But yeah, I just thought her voice wasn't too overbearing. She just called the game as she saw it. Didn't go too silly on some of the things like some of the commentators tend to do. And yeah, I thought it was really good for her first game. So it's good to see.
That's awesome because one of the things we're going to do here on Footy Unfilterated is our commentator power rankings, and I'm looking forward to rolling those out throughout the season. Dwayno trying to convince you to stay tuned into the game it's never a vibe. Like no one is to go, oh well, the commentator said they still got a chance, so I better.
I think if you're going to watch the game, you're going to watch it regardless of what. If anything, I'm going to turn it off when I start hearing garbage like that. I enjoyed watching North win because they've been down for so long.
Yep.
You like to see them have a good, solid win, not just we've just beaten a team that's got 87 injuries and they're on a 5-day break and, like all the circumstances suit. So for them to actually start to walk the walk that they've been talking preseason for the last 10 years is really good.
And I think like that, there's still a chance for the power. That's belittling what the team winning is doing as well.
It's
like you should be able to
silence would be better sometimes.
Just let the game unfold as it's going. And like this is one of the I feel like we've missed a trick here with Dennis Cometti passing away, right? Of every commentator just like taking that little moment to reflect. Because we will talk about this way more throughout this season, but wow. If you just try to, isolate maybe some of the Fox footy commentary, like anytime Gary Lyon is involved, his commentary might just literally consist of him going, whoa! And you're like, that is not commentary. And there's like the tiny little hint of self-reflection that you might have had when you've gone, well, Dennis Cometti, the GOAT, has passed away. How am I doing my job? What do I do in those moments? What would Dennis Cometti do?
What would
you should have that tattooed across his knuckle. What would Dennis Cometti do?
And then underneath, just say nothing.
It's nothing. Just chill. It's like between Brayshaw, Gary Lyon, BT, we've just got this weird raft of I don't know who this is appealing to. Just
themselves, clearly.
Stop blowing up your own ego. Oh, isn't this great? It's like, we understand that you don't need to tell us it's great. This is a big thing when it comes to commentary.
My dog Harold agrees.
Exactly. Like you don't have to explain to the watcher, the listener, that what you're seeing, listening to is great. They understand that. You got to give them a bit of credit. Anyway, speaking of credit, the Demons, we did not believe. 120, Saints 107. Ruh-roh. But if you listen to Ross Lyon, they're still the best team that's ever been.
As he flings another jar of spaghetti against the wall for his masterpiece.
Unbelievable. We just let Naz do what he wanted. He's like, what do you want me to do, coach? I'm like, whatever you want to do, man.
Just go and win the game, would you, mate?
No, just go do the thing.
How do I do that?
So poor Naz is copping all sorts of heat this week after a couple of down games to start the season. $2 million, we all get it. It's a big number. It's crazy. But I don't know, coming from an NBA world where $2 million is not even the veteran minimum.
That's a fine. I think Draymond's been fined more than that for some of his stupidity.
He got fined more than that the last 3 weeks.
He just walks out on the court and he's like, oh, here you go. I'll just pay it in advance.
That's $35,000 right there.
Yeah.
But Naz, I think the entire build-up for this season for the Saints, and we sort of talked about it in the preview show, it was always going to be a little bit bumpy, but the talent should get them over the line. The talent hasn't gotten them over the line these first 2 games. This was a bit of a worrisome one. Big day for the Maxes, though. I enjoyed this. You got Maxi Gawn and Max Hall, both crushing, doing a great job. You got the Pickets going off their heads, both of them. That was awesome to see as well. But my favorite thing is, Melbourne, for the last, basically since they won the flag, they're like, can we get someone who can kick a bag? Anyone. We'll get Alan Jakovic back. I don't care.
And this week, Jacob Van Rooyen was sitting there munching on his burrito and he looked up at the right time. So he's been one of those ones that Melbourne supporters, and I have a few good friends who are Melbourne supporters, he's been a little bit of a whipping boy because he's shown all that promise but hasn't really delivered. And maybe this is the year where he goes full thriller and says, guess what, fellas? I've got a shaved head. I'm about to knock some heads together. And he 5 in the first half too. So could have kicked 10.
Career high 6. He never kicked more than 4, which blew my mind. But he's also he's 22.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It feels like he's been around for a while now, but it's like they had a crap year last year. We get that. He didn't do anything. No one did anything for the Demons last year. And it's now 3 years ago where he showed that sort of real burst of promise, and then the next one's pretty good, and then the dip off, and you're like, just what's going on? And it's wait, he's literally 22 years old.
And you know what they say, the big fellas always take a bit longer to come through. Yeah. And that's the thing. If you look back at a lot of the key forwards now that have come through, even Thriller, he had come onto the scene. I think his first game he kicked 5, and then he sort of disappeared for a little bit, and then he come back and he gave us another taste a couple of years ago, and then last year he was better again. And this is just, it's how they develop. They're never going to come on the scene and kick 100 goals in year one. They're probably not going to kick 100 goals in any year this day and age, but you know what I mean. They're not going to come on and have an impact every week. So you take what you can get, and if he does that 5 or 6 more times this year and manages to boost his numbers with at least a goal a game in between, he's probably going to kick 50 goals for him, and that's what they've been needing since before they won the flag. They haven't had a key forward who hasn't needed an 800-metre run-up like Ben Brown did. Since it's been a long time. Or Jesse Hogan
before that's it, right? So I think this is why I'm sitting here. I'm still the conductor of the Jed Walter train. I'm the Jed Walter conductor. I'm we're all just the train is here. You want to buy a ticket? Come to me. I'll swipe it. His apples. You can then jump on. Jed Walter's still 20 years old. What are we doing? So Roo just gives me that little bit of hope that Jed's going to go bang, but really wouldn't mind just snagging him for the Blues at some point. But anyway, the way the Demons executed this one was really good. They're playing at the MCG. The Saints are kind of Ross Lyon's making jokes about it. It's our Greenland. We're going to take it over. Not just yet, Ross, I guess.
I believe that it could be called Owen.
Yeah. Not bad.
0-2.
0-2.
Definitely not when the Saints go marching in, because they haven't yet.
And then finally, the Suns smashed the Eagles 131-72. They could have killed them. I don't like how they put the Q in the rack, because I'll talk about this again later. But
I wouldn't call it a Q in the rack. More so, it was more of a let's just fight everyone.
Noah Anderson getting hammered at the end as well. Not great. And, Eagles, though.
But the Eagles showed a bit of fight, which is all you want from them.
They was already down by 10 goals. Yeah, they did put up a fight. Suns were kind of I don't know, Hardwick will probably beat this out of them this week. But
I can guarantee you they're all getting just systematically beaten with something of phone books or whatever doesn't leave bruises right now to say, do not ever do that again. You'll have Mac Andrew there just writing lines on the chalkboard, Bart Simpson style. So,
Dev Robertson looked really good for the Eagles. That was good. I don't know. The rest of it, the J Train, love that. Popped up late. Always very fun to see. But, yeah, just, I don't know.
Petrarca was awesome again. He's probably got 6 Brownlow votes.
The funniest thing would be him winning a Brownlow.
That would be hilarious.
For the Gold Coast Suns. Here we are.